Great rip from Paris. However, Millie was all over that.
0-0-1. Second serve.
A little premature there from Kaylin. That was not the right place to pull.
Side out.
Great hands by Tara. She by far is one of the fastest hands out there.
Yeah, great power off the forehand too. Don't want to give her forehands above the waist.
Absolutely. Keeping it nice and compact, yet still can create lots of power and control.
Point.
Feels like she's always one shot ahead. And Paris and Tara are playing straight.
1-0-1.
Yeah, I was just going to mention that. I was curious to see what they do.
Second serve.
Great look from Paris. Taking her chances early.
1-0-2.
Great lead by Millie.
Yeah, if I was Black and Todd, I would keep Tyra on the left myself.
I agree. I think Tara definitely has more offense on the left side.
Yeah, Paris is a really good defensive player, but Tyra I think adds a little bit more power. I also think Tyra's got a better backhand dink than she does a forehand dink, so I like to see her on that left side.
1-1-1.
Agree. Yeah, Tara definitely has got more of an upside in terms of her hands. Her hands and her
second serve
ability to create offense on the left side definitely is a little more of
1-1-2
of an advantage rather than having Paris on the left side. That's for sure.
Side out.
I think we're going to see a lot of points like that, Juan. We got 4 players that are all pretty good at singles, too. Obviously, Christian, very top singles player. Paris Todd, very top singles player. Tyra doesn't play much singles, but she's a really good singles player. And Millie's a pretty good one, too.
Yeah, we're definitely going to have lots of that.
Point.
Lots of crashing, lots of aggression. I don't think we're going to see much dinking. They're all waiting for that ball to just go a little higher to take no time, waste no time to put that ball away. Yep.
Point.
That's when the singles comes in handy, digging that ball all the way about knee high and still be able to create some shape and create aggression from down there.
There we go, seeing stacking now from Millie and Caitlin. I was wondering about that. I think Caitlin's better on the left as well.
Yep.
3-1-2.
Yeah, Caitlin as well. It's just a little more aggressive than Millie. However, Millie
side out.
Still a great player on both sides. Paris keeps on taking her chances.
1-3-1.
In mixed doubles, I believe that works a little better. I think in gender, she's got to be a little more careful.
Point.
Great drive from Kaylin. Displaying her singles skills.
2-3-1.
Amazing drive from Millie. What a rip. She learned that from Mary Humberg.
The Mari Humberg, who just strolled by.
3-3-1.
Coming off a win with CJ Klinger in mixed doubles. She'll be up later today with Megan Dazan in women's doubles.
Another great rip from Millie, keeping it nice and low, using her lower body.
4-3-1.
Getting the point.
Second
Great
serve.
point. Kaylin coming with the unforced error there on the back and ding. Getting a little too fine with that net. But we all know the margins here in pickleball. If you don't keep that ball low and short, it's going to be very much attacked.
Side out.
Yeah, not a lot of third shot drops in this one.
Yeah.
I don't think we've seen one yet.
As we mentioned earlier, they all have great drives, but there is no need to not take advantage of them.
Second serve.
Now, the one thing I'd say, Juan, is I think longer points would be the advantage of Todd and Black. I think they're better dinkers than. I think Millie's fine dinking.
3,
I
4,
think
2.
Caitlin's still more of a singles player than a doubles player. I think you can beat her in the dink game.
I agree.
Side
Yeah,
out.
if Caitlin and Millen want to have a good look of this match, they definitely have to be a little more aggressive than they would
4,
like,
3, 1.
taking their chances.
Yeah, that's exactly. I think Millie and Caitlin have to blast away,
Yeah, with
especially at Paris.
totally.
Point.
As we see, Paris has missed several
Counters.
counters deep, especially off that left side.
Yep. Millie, with a smile on her face, she sees,
5, 3, 1.
she smells blood. She sees a little gap there, a bit of an advantage that she can keep exploiting from Paris defense.
Oh, that was a really nice play there by Millie.
Very
Really
nice.
good cross-court roll.
6, 3, 1. Second serve.
Great hands by Tara, keeping that ball nice and low, using every part of her wrist to turn that paddle all the
6.
way down.
I'll recall. 6, 3, 2.
They listened to us, Juan. They put Tyra on the left now.
Side out.
They should have listened 5 points ago.
Yep. Great roll by
3,
Paris,
6, 1.
making it hard for Millie and Kaylin to get in the kitchen. Up.
Second serve.
Great leave by Kaylin. That's one of the skills that the pros are just a little better than the average Joe.
3, 6,
just
2.
knowing when to let the ball go.
A little better? That was kind.
Side out.
Yeah, probably a lot better. Yeah, the speed that these players at this level
6,
are
3,
playing
1.
at is there's just no time to think. So just the fact that they're able to see the ball traveling at a certain speed, certain height, and making the decision to let the ball go
Second
is very
serve.
impressive.
Six, 3, 2. Point.
And another lead from Kaylin. Great attack. She sees the ball traveling a
Timeout
little
receiver is
too much
7-3-2,
upward,
1 minute.
and she just
Lifetime
Time in.
fitness I have
7,
ever
3, 2.
seen.
same here. Yeah,
Just-
this is
just a fabulous facility.
it was like a country club.
Yeah, I
Side
think
out.
that's right there from Todd and Black. Get it to Caitlin Christian's backhand. She gets kind of impatient.
Yep. Yeah, she
3,
just
7,
simply
1.
wants to pull the trigger a little too early.
I think that's sort of a little bit because of lack of confidence in her ability to dink in a long point.
Yep.
Yeah.
Point.
A little too premature from the wrong spot from Millie. Attack cross is very much not
4, 7,
advisable
1.
at this level. Otherwise, that's going to happen. The ball is going to travel fast cross, and then it's going to come right down the line even faster.
Second serve.
Great things from Millie, putting pressure, trying to hit that left shoe of Paris.
4-7-2.
Getting her in a pickle. Great pressure for Kaylin with a very good off speed of the bounce just to make that ball go a little low on Tara and then being able to capitalize on the high ball, putting it away. Great defense from Millie.
Thought Tyra had that one.
Thought so too. Yeah, Tara had definitely the upper hand on that point. She was swinging down, and Millie was just scraping
8-4.
to survive. Yet she managed to create the unforced errors from Tara. Great lead from Tara and Paris. Kaylin, can't blame her. She's got a good drive in singles. Why not give it a shot in doubles?
Side out.
A little bit of a miscommunication.
Yeah, I believe Kaylin was a
4-8-1.
little cautious with Millie swinging that paddle.
Yeah. It was probably Caitlin's ball. She just was a little bit behind in getting to it.
4-8-2.
Yeah, it definitely was Kaylin's.
Side out.
Millie's playing some very good pickleball here.
Millie is bringing it today.
Yeah.
She is rock solid, volleying like no one's business.
8-4-1.
Deflecting that Paris backhand drive. Really like how organized Millie is, not really rushing things on her way forward.
Second serve.
A little too high from Kaylin. She's got to be careful with that, knowing that Tara is very much proactive in the kitchen, trying to get that ball out of the air, trying to look for that flick out of the air.
What a point.
Great point from all four of them.
Continuous pressure there from Caitlin Christian just would not let Black and Todd get back in that point.
I'm surprised Kaylin was able to execute such a good angle. Millie was right next to her.
9-4-2.
Millie switched from driving to cross-court drops, and she's hitting them. Those are really pretty. Really pretty cross-court drops. Nice roll. Setting up the point well.
Side out.
Kaylin taking her chances with a crash.
Four 10-1.
4-10-1. Black and Todd need a run to get back in this game one.
Beautiful draw by Paris.
Point.
Great pressure from Paris Dings with lots of rotation, causing the unforced error for Millie.
5-10-1.
Great defense from Paris.
Jinxed her there, one.
Sure did. Great offense by Millie off the bounce. Keeping those Dings nice and fast, low. unattackable. Everything that you want in the dink, Millie was able to execute those things.
Point.
We've seen that several times.
Yeah.
Caitlin getting a little anxious with a ankle-high ball, speeding it up.
6-10-2.
Yes, you just wanted to create a little too much from too low. Sometimes you just gotta have certain flexibility with your shot selection in order to
Game point.
to not make unforced errors like that.
10-6-1. Serve.
Millie wanting to absolutely annihilate that ball.
Yeah, I'd like to see her stick with that cross-court
10-6-2.
roll.
Yep, paid off earlier today.
Side out.
Nice drop there from Christian, just couldn't execute the next one.
6-10-1.
Here is when you start noticing who's able to execute under pressure.
Second serve. Six, 10-2.
Because mid-game, at the beginning of the game or so, it's all fun and games until it's time to close it.
Point.
Yeah. Well, we've seen it today, Juan. We've seen teams coming back.
Yep.
Or individuals and singles coming back from deficits.
Yep. And pickleball is rather normal.
7-10-2.
I believe. It's just the momentum shift and the fact that when things get tense and the execution is not there because of the tightness of the body, because of the moment.
Game point.
And you see that more often than maybe sometimes other sports.
I think we're up to game point number 5. Memory serves.
Let's see if Millie can make something happen here.
10-7-1.
Kaylin got to be locked in as well in order to close out this game.
I like that drop. Yeah.
Point game. 11-7.
That's a good spot to dink.
Timeout change ends.
It's either a backhand dink out of the air, or she has to let that ball drop, which will very much likely.
Paris need to do to turn this one around.
I believe they gotta really get Kaylin to hit more dinks. I think it's gonna come down to that. She doesn't seem or look as comfortable in the kitchen. And definitely gonna be needing more of that. Lots of pressure in those thirds, making it impossible for them to come in. And let's see if they're able to get in the kitchen as well
0-0-1.
and put that pressure on Kaylin, because so far she has been the one with the unforced errors in the kitchen. Let's see if that will be the case.
Point.
Yeah, I thought Tyra and Paris played a little too fast and sort of played in the hands of the way Christian and Rane want to play. They clearly want to play fast.
1-0-1.
So, you know, a lot of times whatever your opponent wants to do, you want to do the opposite.
Yep.
Oh, beautiful shot there.
Kaylin a little confused there, hoping that Millie was going to get a hand on that ball. That's when communication is very important. Telling your partner
2-0-1.
whose balls is which.
Second serve.
Tara a little anxious there.
2-0-2.
Can't blame her for that attack. Fast points is something that we all want.
Point.
Great placement by Tara, finding that angle.
Wow, that was some angle.
Yeah, that is just can't teach that.
3-0-2. Point.
Paris with a little bit of luck. The tides are turning little by little.
Good 4-0 start. One looks like we might have another 3-game match. Nobody gets to win in 2 on Grandstand today.
That's what it looks like.
4-0-2.
Great topspin draw by Paris.
Second. Correct.
Millie with a lucky counter that floated right by Tara and Paris and just happens to stay in.
0-4-1.
Great reaction by Tara.
Ooh, just
Second
a
serve.
little wide on that ATP.
Yeah, the ATPs are definitely tough one to master. But if you hit a little too early, it's going to touch the
0-4-2.
net. It's a little too late. It's going to just run away from you, and it's going to be hard to find your core back in again.
Side out.
Kaylin with the on-force error in the serve, wanting a freebie.
4-0-1. Second serve.
As we mentioned earlier, I think this is exactly what Kaylin and Milan want.
4-0-2.
They want a little bit of chaos, fast-paced pickleball. Tara is understanding that, and she's just trying to slow the game down. Great combo by
Point.
Paris.
Yeah. Now that was the way I think Black and Todd want to construct their points right there. Just repeat that.
5-0-2.
Absolutely, absolutely. With a little bit of patience, however, just control aggression, taking their chances where they have to.
Fault.
Yet
Point.
being aggressive. Kaylin with the
Timeout
foot fault.
receivers. 6-0-2. 1 minute. 2. Point.
Great draw by Tara.
Not what you want coming out of a timeout, of course.
Kudos to
7-0-2.
Tara, putting lots of pressure right after she makes contact to that ball.
Yeah, you're right.
Noticing the quality of it.
Point.
Once again, great draw by the girls.
Yeah,
Tara and Paris.
absolutely.
8-0-2.
That's something that the amateurs can definitely learn from. Developing that recognition of your drops. Drop and move forward. Don't stay back. That's why you got to work on your resets so you can own the transition zone.
9-0-2.
Great drop. Put some pressure forward. If it's a little too high, you have resets. If it's good, you're ready to spank it, just like Tara, like Paris tried. A little, she overcooked that a little bit, just wide.
0-9-1.
Again, we see them switch back to Paris on the left, and she hits a backhand long.
Yeah, I really would like to know the thought process behind Paris on the left when Tara just simply has good
Second serve.
offense on the left side, and Paris just played a full 3-game match on the right.
0-9-2.
Then Tara and Paris gather
playing.
themselves, and were able to come up with the game plan we mentioned earlier. Just slowing it down, causing the on-force arrow on Kaylin. Definitely noticing
9-0-2.
how uncomfortable sometimes she seems to be in the kitchen.
Side out.
Good side out there.
9-0-1.
9-0-1. See if they can close this out and send us to a game 3.
Point.
A little too cute from Milan,
Game
trying
point.
to find that sideline. There's
Yeah.
no need
10-0-1.
sometimes when you're
Second serve.
when you are deflecting,
Game point.
balling those drives.
10-0-2.
Simply keeping them back. There is no need to move them to the side. Great point
Side out.
by all of them. Millie being the one who was able to spank the ball down first,
0-10-1.
causing the error from Tara. Wow.
That's I think the third one of those that Tyra's done with just a really, really sharp angle inside out.
That is very impressive. Full Eastern grip and just simply windshield wiping that ball from right to left.
Side out.
Great pressure from Taris. Quick side out.
10-0-1.
Some more looks to close out game 2.
Second serve.
For those ATPs, patience is the most important virtue you can have.
Yeah.
You gotta let that ball
10-0-2.
keep shifting away, creating some good space in order to have more margin to hit that
Side
ball
out.
back in the court.
Yeah, let it get as low as possible.
Yep.
And then shape it too if you can, especially that was a forehand, so it's a little bit easier to shape it.
0-10-1.
Curve it around.
Yep.
It'd be harder to do off the backhand.
Let's see if Kaylin and Milan can
Second serve.
accomplish the impossible.
They're just struggling to find any offense.
0-10-2. Point.
Great point all around. A little bit of a miss hit on that last defense from Tara, but kudos to
110-2.
Kaylin, putting them in such an uncomfortable position.
Side out.
That's caught.
Game point.
And another side out, another game point.
What a shot from Paris.
10-1-1. Second serve.
Great speed up from Kaylin, finding that gap down the line.
Game point. 10-1-2.
And that'll do it.
Point game. 11-1. Timeout.
Send us to a
Greenman.
game 3.
Once again, on Grandstand, game 3. Giving the people what they want.
And we will take a break here. What has turned into a really good match. We'll come back with game 3 here in a moment at the Select Medical Orange County Cup.
That from Kaylin and Millie. Lots of drives, lots of crashes, lots of aggression. Because in the slow game, I believe Tara and Paris have the upper hand.
Yeah, it did seem like Black and Todd won a vast majority of the long points, the slow points, just like that one. The points that take a while to develop, they seem to have a big advantage.
Yep. Tara is definitely capitalizing on Kaylin's high dinks.
1-0-2.
Kaylin's gotta put her ego on the side and just simply avoid Tara and maybe think a little more than maybe she would like or she would feel comfortable with.
Side out.
Thinking middle or line to Paris because Tara is just putting too much pressure.
0-1-1.
And she's using her flicks rather flawlessly today. She's keeping Millie super honest. The way she's expecting the ball to come her way,
0-1-2.
and definitely keeping Kaylin honest, keeping those dinks super high, super low. Otherwise, they both know. They should know by now what's coming.
Millie seems to be getting a little frustrated with herself too.
1-0-1.
Got to really focus, even if you're having a little bit of a rough patch. Got to stay focused. Can't let the last shot interfere with the next shot.
Second serve.
Good pressure by Kaylin. A little overcooked on the
1-0-2.
side by Paris. No need to go for the line. Definitely not on game 3. When every point matters.
Side out.
Great pressure by Millie. Love those dinks with topspin. And Paris committed. She committed to get that one out of the air, and you just gotta give it a little more juice if you get that. If you wanna get that one over the net.
Second serve.
Great pressure once again from Tara. Her flicks are
0-1-2.
JW-like.
Side out.
Good job by Paris. Reading that attack.
1-0-1. Second serve.
A little miscommunication there. Paris was certain that Tara was going to poach it, as she usually does.
1-0-2.
She's very proactive. She's super athletic, covering lots of ground. And Paris was expecting Tara to keep doing so.
Point. Two, 0-2. Side out.
Caitlin Christian need to find a way to get some
0-2-1.
offense here. They've just really had trouble scoring points here for the last 20 minutes or so. That's not going to work.
Second serve.
Shout out to my friend Ella O. She's one of the top juniors. She's a great player, very sweet girl.
Point.
Millie with an interesting cross-court speed up. That time
1-2-2.
it worked. I think it caught Paris by surprise. Sort of handcuffed her.
Amazing defense.
Point.
Wow, what a point.
Wow. That was some crazy defense there from Tyra, keeping the point going.
2-2-2.
If Millen and Kaylin wants to win this match, we got to keep seeing a lot of that.
Side out.
A little unfortunate from Kaylin. She did want to get indeed out of the way. However, it was a little too late.
Yeah. Did look like it was headed long.
Sure did.
2-2-1. Point.
Great combo by Tara and Paris. They definitely look in sync, just like their dresses.
3-2-1.
They are very color coordinated.
Second serve.
Very well executed by Kaylin. Sometimes it's hard to control those big swings.
3-2-2.
However, Kaylin knows that she's an athlete. Definitely knows how to control even with a big swing, just like that. Once again,
Side out.
creating lots of offense. Again, the only way I can see Millie
2-3-1.
and Kaylin turning this game is with lots of crashing, lots of aggression, just
Point.
like that. Once again, because in the kitchen, I believe the game is owned by Paris and Tara, so they better slow it down if they want to come up on top.
Second serve.
Unfortunate for Kaylin and Millie. The ball nicks the net once again.
Christian kind of hitting herself. I think she's
3-3-2.
noticed she should have gone cross court, keep the ball away from Tyra.
Yep.
Tyra's just playing too well. You got to, no insult to Paris Todd, but I think you got to play her in this match.
Absolutely.
Side out.
Absolutely. Otherwise, we're going to keep seeing a lot of that.
Yeah.
Tyra's hands are just a little too fast for Millie
3-3-1.
and Kaylin.
Yeah, she's moving really well.
Second serve.
Great pressure by Caitlin. Making it impossible for Tara and Paris to come to the kitchen.
3-3-2. Point.
Good point.
Great point. Great hold by Paris.
4-3-2.
Showing the speed up cross court and pulling it down the line, causing the error by killing. Great shot by Tara.
Good point. Good play by all four players on that one.
Definitely tough decision making by Kaylin on that speed up down the line. She was a little too far from the kitchen line, definitely on her back foot, yet she decided to attack. Paris read that quite brilliantly.
5-3-2. Side out.
Millie letting Paris know that she is
3-5-1.
here to stay. She wants a battle.
Second serve.
All right. Again, that defense from Tyra Black really stands out.
Yep.
3-5-2. Point.
Great defense by Millie. Scraping to survive, causing the unforced error by Tara.
This is where Millie and Caitlin need to score some points if they've got Paris on the left.
4-5-2. Point.
And they got a couple. See if that causes a switch.
5-5-2.
5-5-2. Next point, we're going to switch sides.
Point.
Great shot by Kaylin.
Timeout.
Way to hold it and pull that trigger last second.
6-5-2.
Let's again see if Todd and Black switch sides, and they do.
Side out.
Tara taking her chances with those flicks.
Yeah, I just want to see that aggression
5-6-1.
Tyra's got on the left side.
And we all know how athletic she is, how shifty she can be on the left side. Definitely putting lots of pressure.
You can see Caitlin Christian at one point just wanted the ball. Just going a little too far.
6-6-1.
Yeah, definitely a skill hard to master. Being very proactive and shifty on the left side, yet having the control on the ball that we all want.
Point.
Wow.
What a counter from Paris. It was a full-blown attack by Millie cross court. Yes, he was able to get a paddle there and get that ball right on the corner.
That was a wonderful shot by Paris Todd. One of the
7-6-1.
best shots we've seen this match. And it couldn't have come at a better time.
Great drive by Paris, keeping it nice and low.
Second serve.
Is it just me, or that sound of the ball in the hands battle is very satisfying?
These firefights are really fun to watch.
7-6-2. Point.
Kaylin read it.
She did. She did. She
Read it very well. However, just that swing was a little too much downward.
8-6-2.
It caused the ball go to the net.
Point.
Great point by Tara. That's how much Tara trusts her hands. There was a few moments on that point that she hit a volley hard from below the net, knowing that she can get herself back in the point. Because usually that is very much not advisable to attack from below the net, because you know that the next attack is going to come downward. However, just her skill set and level of athleticism is off the charts.
Here's Todd with the
Time
serve
in.
here.
9-6-2.
9-6-2, trying to close this one out. They're on a 4-0 run.
Great lead by Kaylin.
Really good save there for Millie Rane to keep that point going. Thought Black and Todd had it.
6-9-1.
6-9-1. They've lost their lead.
Second serve.
That's why I like Tyra Black on the left. She's got great power and also great angles off that forehand.
6-9-2. Point.
Yeah, really good serve. Paris Todd was behind that whole point, could not get to the net safely. Let's see which way they go. I'd like to see him switch and put Tyra again on the left.
7-9-2.
And that's why we want Tyra Black on the left right there. That's a perfect example. Great combination of defense, touch, and then the ability to put the ball away.
9-7-1.
Wow, defense. Oh,
Point.
Wow.
Great defense by Paris on the stretch.
I got to clap on that one. That was amazing. Paris Todd,
Match point.
3 or 4 shots kept going. Millie Rane and Caitlin Christian were pounding on that ball.
Free challenge timeout.
Just could not quite put it away. They're going to take their second timeout here at match point. We're going to have match point number 1. And first match point here. And that'll do it.
Match.
What a great match. Black and Todd able to close it out. Millie Rane and Caitlin Christian gave it all they could, just could not quite. They had a 6-5 lead there in game 3, just could not quite keep it up.
Yeah, unfortunate for Millie and Kaylin. They definitely had good looks. But
And for our next match, we're going to switch to men's doubles. We're going to have the 2 seed. Federico Staxford and Hayden Patrick are going to take on the 16 seed. Jay DeVilliers and Grayson Golden. Grayson coming over here for to join PPA Tour. So we will take a break here from Carvana Grandstand Court, come back in just a few moments and bring